What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean, and thank you for tuning in to my review of Doctor Who Series 9, Episode 1, The Magician's Apprentice. Now, this episode kicks off where there's a war going on this mysterious planet. There are these soldiers that are being shot at by these aircrafts, and one of the soldiers spots this boy that's on the battlefield. Obviously, he goes after him to try to find out why this kid is here. The kid says he's lost, and, there's a conversation going on where the guy's like, all right, I'm going to get you out of here. Don't worry about it. The kid looks down at the guy's foot, and there's a hand there. And the guy, because the guy asks him, like, hey, have you seen them? And he looks down, and there's a hand on his foot. It's like, all right, everything's going to be fine. Well, no, it's not, because you get dragged into, like, some kind of pit. And the pit was moving, so it looked sort of like he was dragged into another portal, let's say. Or maybe he was turned into one of these hands with the eyes. That kind of reminded me of The Gate. If you've seen The Gate and you're a horror fan, you have the eye on the palm of your hand. Like, that's what these things were. And they're, like, tilting their hands and moving them side to side so they can actually see what the boy is doing. And all of a sudden, the doctor's sonic screwdriver comes, and it lands next to the boy. And the doctor is basically telling the boy, pick it up. You can use this to get out of here. If it's a 1 out of 1,000 chance, but let's ride on that one chance for you to get out of here. Now the doctor's trying to talk the boy down and trying to get him to run towards him. He asks him, hey, so tell me your name, just to strike up some small conversation. And the boy says Davros. And that's when the doctor just knows that he's in a situation, a literal life and death situation. Because we know that Davros is the one who created the Daleks. So having the chance to either let Davros die or save him can benefit the doctor either way. Because, if he saves him, maybe Davros will not create the Daleks and become a good guy. But even though he can save him, and it would still push him towards creating the Daleks, because something later on down the line would make him twist his behaviors and stuff. So we get introduced to this new creature called the Colonisaur. And the Colonisaur is like this snake-like being. It's in the hooded cloak, and it's going from planet to planet looking for the doctor. It's killing people in its way as well. Now, when it gets to Karn, that's where things get interesting, because the sisters of Karn are like, all right, yeah, the doctor is here, and we know that, Davros created the Daleks, so we know that he sent you. So, what's up? And the Colonisaur is like, hey, well, listen, I just want the doctor. Like, that's it. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, again, he's here, but, no. So what happens is that the Colonisaur tries to use his abilities on the Sisters of Karn. They're like, come on, guy, like, Hachu, that's nothing. Get that off me. And what happens is that the Colonisaur actually tells them, well, since I can't use my powers on you or do anything to kill you, just get the doctor this message. Davros knows, Davros remembers. And the sisters are like, wait a second, what? Like, what's going on here? What did you do, doctor? Like, what did you do to really tilt this scale of fate towards Davros? Are you a part of why he is what he is? So when we finally get to see Clara, things kick off right away, because there's a plane in the air and it's not moving. It's frozen in time, and Clara's like, okay, I already know what's going on here. Obviously some alien or something is obviously trying to control this. So Unit calls Clara. Clara goes down to the unit, and right away we get introduced to Missy, because Missy is coming at, and her introduction is so funny. Hey Missy, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey Missy. So that was hilarious, man. The master, being Missy is going, you can tell it's going to be fun having her on board, man. I love her. So Missy tells Clara to come down there and meet her, give her the coordinates. She said, all right, just bring 8 snipers down here, because I know that you're scared and you think I'm going to do something. So just have a couple of snipers come down here, have some guards that'll protect you, and everything will be fine. Clara goes down there to meet the master, and we get some unraveling of some secrets here. Now, one of the main things that caught me is that Missy says to Clara that, she's been friends with the doctor even when the doctor was a little girl. Now, that was interesting, because we know that a lot of people have been pushing for the doctor to be a female, and we know that the doctor was actually a girl at one point. Now, hearing that, that could definitely open the door up to the next generation being a female, but it's just something good to hear. I know a lot of people are against that, but hey, even if you are, just know that the doctor was a girl, and Moffat definitely threw that in there for a reason. Again, this is Moffat, guys. So anyway, Missy also has something that has the doctor's confession, and It's basically made for the best friend of the Doctor. Only the best friend. The message is to be heard only from the best friend. And Clara's like, oh, well, that's me. She tries to reach for it. She gets electrocuted. And, Missy's like, hey, like, what are you doing? I'm his best friend. Like, you're nothing. See that couple over there? That's me and the Doctor, and you're the dog. Like, that was hard, man. But it was also true. I mean, because the dog is a companion, right? So, it just goes to show you that Missy is sort of jealous of Clara, like of the companions of Clara. She sees them as little things, like nothing, insignificant. But at the same time, she cares for the Doctor so much that she doesn't want anyone getting next to him. So obviously the Doctor is being hunted, and he will die the next day. So they're like, listen, the Doctor's obviously hiding himself, but we have to find him so we can protect him. So Missy is basically like, hey, you know what? All right, let's try to find him. Clara's like, wait a second. So are you good? Because you're helping me. Missy's like, good? Let me show you something. she kills this one guy. She's like, oh, yeah, I think he had a wedding ring on his finger, and he had some baby odor, so obviously he was a parent. Then she kills somebody else, and she's like, oh, look, thanks for bringing extras. So the whole thing was, oh, I'm going to bring these people down here. You bring them down here so they can protect you. But really, I'm just using them as target practice just because, So I love that dark tone to the Master is still there. And Missy captures that so well that you're laughing at people being obliterated by her for no reason. So anyway, they find out that the Doctor was in 1130 AD Essex. And we get to see that he's about to fight somebody with an axe in this arena. And the Doctor comes out on a tank, a military tank, with a guitar. He's the Doctor, so he's coming out with a bang, and everybody's cheering him on like, this is something that's normal. It's 1130 AD. Of course we have tanks here. So Missy and Clara go back in time, and they're witnessing this, and they're like, wow, like, okay, wow. Like, you're really not even trying to hide yourself. Like, you really don't care. He's teaching them words like dudes, so... we get to see like the Doctor actually hugs Clara, and that's something that's interesting because we know that he really isn't the hugger or the hugging type. So the Colonisaur actually finds the Doctor here, and the Colonisaur sort of shows us his true form, which is this giant snake. It's a bunch of snakes that are gathered around a giant snake, which is why his face is in different layers. That's cool. I actually like that. So the Colonisaur tells the Doctor, I'm bringing you to Davros. He wraps the snake around the Doctor's wrist as handcuffs. Missy and Clara are like, we're going to. And they jump aboard and go towards Davros. But at the same time, the guy that the Doctor was supposed to fight actually turns out to be a Dalek. And he captures the TARDIS. So we know that there are two sides of a coin here, man. Like, there's Colonisaur that's obviously actually pushing the Doctor towards me and Davros. And then you have the Daleks who are actually trying to do something with the TARDIS here. So they get to this ship that's floating in space. They go there. Missy and Clara are kept in a room. The Doctor goes to meet Davros. He sees the different faces that he had at one time. All the Doctors we get to see. We hear them talking. That was pretty cool. Walk down memory lane. So when we get back to Clara and Missy, we see that they're in space. And Missy opens the door to walk out of space. And she's like, oh, this is cool. I can breathe and stuff, and I can walk. And Clara's like, whoa, like, is that like a platform? She's like, no, it's the ground. This isn't really a ship. It's a building, and we're not actually in space. And what happens is that the hologram that looked like space vanishes, and we get to see that we're actually on the Daleks' homeworld, which is Skaro. That's awesome. I mean, because it's right, like I said, this first episode is throwing us right into the fire, and we know that somebody's gonna get burnt. Now, one of the Daleks actually sees Clara and Missy, brings them back. The Doctor's like, wait a second, like, just don't harm them. We can talk. We can do this little tug and tug crap that you want to do. I understand I'm on Skaro and I'm going crazy because I'm here, but just don't hurt my people, don't hurt my friends. So Missy is the first one to go. She's like, the only way you can get the TARDIS started is through me. So the Daleks blast her. Then Clara's next. And Davros is like, look at the Daleks, look how they're watching her. They're just toying with her. And the Doctor's like, come on, man, like, stop them from doing it. Tell them to stop. And he's like, I created them, but I don't control them. So, yeah, they're doing what they want to do. They kill Clara. Then there's the TARDIS. They're like, hey, you know what? It's the TARDIS time. Let's all take this, our beams and blow this joint to obliteration. And they obliterated the TARDIS, man. Like, it's gone. So The doctor was left there. He looks like he's really down, man. I mean, like, he's lost 3 things that are really close to him. So what is he gonna do? We don't know. Actually, we do, because at the end, it's revealed that the doctor goes back to Davros as a child. Somehow, we know that he got there. They didn't show if it was the TARDIS or whatnot, but we know that he went back. And Davros is like, wait, but you were just here and you left me and now you're over here. How did you get there? He's like, I'm from the future. So Davros is like, all right, well, you said you would save me, so what's up? And the doctor's like, no, I'm here to exterminate you. Boom. Mind blown, because that is awesome. Like, if the he's been pushed to this point where he's like, I lost everything, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to destroy you to stop you from destroying the people who I cared about. Now, I'm pretty sure that we know that Missy, Clara, and the TARDIS are not gone. I actually believe that they've been teleported to Missy's TARDIS, and that they're safe. They're definitely not. I don't think that they're back on Skaro, somewhere else on Skaro. Maybe they are. I mean, that would be interesting. But I hope that they're actually in Missy's TARDIS, and we get to see the inside of Missy's TARDIS, because we know that she didn't die in Series 8. You know, even though it looked like she was shot and she was killed, she teleported somewhere, and we do know that Missy does have a TARDIS. So, again, I think she's in the TARDIS, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed this episode thoroughly, man. Like, I just really did. I'm glad to see that it looks like Capaldi is really back into the groove, man. Like, he's comfortable being the Doctor, because he looked like he had so much fun with this episode. Again, I love how Missy is and the way she acts about the Doctor and how much she cares for him. I just can't wait to see what happens in the next episode and what actually happens to Davros. Does he die? Does the Doctor actually do something that will eventually send a ripple down the line that will actually hurt one of his friends by, you know, at the same time while he's trying to save them? Can't wait to see what happens, guys. Let me know what you thought below. Where do you think Clara, Missy, and the TARDIS are? And again, this is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You. Stay tuned for more reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a good one.